Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the official and original Glory Hunters podcast right here on the Glory Hunters channel. And we're in the middle of Euros 2024. One of the reasons we haven't put out our bi-week podcast is because we're too busy, damn busy watching the game. And, well, before we get into our first story, how are things for you in Team England?
Fantastic. A big point against Denmark, really well deserved, well fought for point, so looking like we're going to go through the groups. Happy days, I think.
Of course, England's performance has been a bit underwhelming. The Gareth Southgate coming under all sorts of fire, probably well deserved. I'm starting to get on the Southgate, anti-Southgate train. Captain Kylian Mbappé, looking more like Captain France, superhero look after breaking his nose. He decided to become a superhero. It's too funny. Any comment on the Kylian Mbappé may be prevented wearing the protected mask because of a little-known UEFA rule? What do you think of that? I mean, really, how could he keep his mask off?
It just looks stupid, doesn't it?
It does look stupid, but I mean, if he's trying to protect this is so French. He goes, "We will give you a mask."
Rule isn't against him wearing a mask; it's against him having the French flag one.
Oh, that's cool, but that makes it cool. Oh, it looks like it's already out again. They can't. Oh, I don't know. I think it looks great. There he is.
I think it looks terrible.
He looks like a superhero.
Yeah, stupid.
I like it. I don't know. Look, I mean, he has a uniform on already. I don't know. See, I come from hockey, and the goalies are allowed to have individualized masks as long as they keep the theme of the colors. So each goalie in the league has an individualized mask. And I don't know, like your boy Czech or Czech, he wore a he really does look like a Ninja Turtle, come to think of it. Your boy Czech, he wore a helmet, kind of individualized them. If you made it blue and put the Chelsea logo on it, you would have had a problem with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
It would have looked fucking stupid.
No, it would say it had the Chelsea logo on the top. Man. I don't think it looks ridiculous.
That is like Mbappe with that mask is probably the only time I've ever seen a footballer with a mask that I've thought he looks fucking stupid. Usually they look kind of cool, like the black one or like the clear one. That looks fucking ridiculous. And that's coming from me. What I'm wearing. And you're a man in an afro, and we're the ones saying like that.
And you're in a fur coat.
Yeah.
And you're in a fur coat. And now you know why this sport never took off in the United States. There it is. Kylian Mbappé, everybody. Hey, Nike re-releases about it. 1998 World Cup jersey. Are you in the market for it?
I already have one from China.
Yep. Do you?
Yeah. Our Monday Six-a-side team, we all got that shirt, but with like really shit names on the back.
Yeah.
So I actually have one with Nicrates on the back.
I thought that was a joke. You're not supposed to have those. You should be arrested and thrown in prison for that. You realize that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll be the first man arrested for it.
Yeah.
That's claim to fame.
Well, when we were in the Glory Hunter servers, go in, talk to us, join the server. It's fun. There's people streaming games. There's all sorts of stuff going on. The price tag is what, 120 pounds or $120 or something like that?
I think it's 125 quid from what I saw.
Exactly what I paid for my kids' new German jersey. And you were whining.
You overpaid. That's ridiculous.
No, it's the official thing.
Overpaid.
Of course it's overpaid for all this crap.
Yeah, but like England kit, right?
Yeah.
People were kicking off because it was like 100 quid for the England kit.
Yeah.
100 quid for the England kit, people are kicking off. 125 quid for that. I'm sorry, that's a fucking joke.
It was like it was
80 quid for like a normal shirt is well expensive, let alone 120 quid.
yeah.
I wonder why people buy from China.
Yeah, I
It's because
know.
you charge 120 quid for a fucking shirt.
And those Chinese jerseys aren't all bad either. Like they do the job.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with the Chinese
Like-
jersey? If you're fat like me and you get triple X, it's not triple X. It's extra large.
Mm.
You know, but it's extra large for a Chinaman. You know,
Look, I'd like to buy legit shirts, like the one I'm wearing now, the CSKA Moscow one.
Yeah,
This is legit.
yeah.
I like to buy the legit ones whenever I can. But when you charge 125 quid for a shirt, like, that's a joke. Make it a reasonable price and no one will, well, most people won't buy from China. I know, I never would.
Oh, I would buy from China if they're more reasonably priced. Yeah, sure.
100%.
They were talking about going after the people that are wearing it at the stadiums over here. I couldn't believe they do that in Germany. But they are going after the manufacturers. That's fine. They take a risk.
Yeah, sure.
Start going after the, you imagine like, what was a cop going to do? He's going to check the official, and a lot of times the Chinese can fake those too. The little official marker at the bottom of the jersey.
Yeah, some of them are like really good for like fooling you.
Oh yeah. Some of them it is, and they're cheap. Kind of like if you want to watch all the soccer in the world, you can go to one of those websites and spend $10 a month, and you can get more than you can get anywhere else. And they usually run without a hitch. Oh, Tenerife leaves Scotland. Excuse me, camp with hamstring injury, out for Euro 2024. What position does he play?
Well, he's a left back normally, but he plays in like the back three at the moment, I think, for Scotland, because they've obviously also got Andy Robertson, who's a left back. Like their two best players are left backs. So one of them plays in the back three at centre back, and the other one plays as the wing back.
Very unfortunate. Scotland still has a chance. You realize that, right?
Mathematically, yes.
Yeah, they could. They're still actually in the green zone as far as an extra match. I hope they pull it out. Scottish very well received here in Deutschland. There's lots of videos of Scots having a great time, getting along with the Germans, just great. So why don't you see people dancing with the English? Why do you think that doesn't happen?
Because they're all bigots.
That's
You see a bunch of drunk Scotsmen falling over. Oh, it's funny. You see a bunch of Englishmen doing it. Oh, they're fucking thugs. It's all bigotry.
There may be some truth in that, actually. I asked my wife, because we usually go to Spain or the Canary Islands, and I said, well, let's stay in an English hotel. The Germans just sit there and they don't speak to anybody. Everybody's like really careful and what have you. The English, she goes, they're all drunk, so I don't want them drinking in front of my kid. Which she's not wrong. Gareth Southgate on England's midfield drama. It was an experiment. We don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. We're trying different things. Isn't that kind of the problem, that they're trying different things over there? I mean, Southgate, the hammer's starting to fall on him, and I think he's kind of shown his weakness as a coach. You agree?
He's a fucking idiot, is what I think. We don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. Yes, we do. And guess what, Gareth? You brought him. He's in the squad.
Yeah.
Wharton is literally right there in the squad. He is the natural Phillips replacement. What do you mean we don't have one? You yourself picked him for the England squad.
Yeah. What did Southgate do to get this job to begin with? Who did he win with?
No one.
This is his first job?
No, he had like a failed spell as borough manager, I think. But he like worked in the English FA system, I think, before they gave him the job.
So he's a networking
as far
hire.
as basically, he was like England under-21s coach, but he had like a spell as Middlesbrough manager.
How was his success rate for the under-21 team?
I don't remember, but I don't remember anything like amazing happening back then. Like the likes of Steve Cooper have been more successful since, but then they've had a better crop of players, so it's always harder to judge with things like that. But yeah, it wasn't like he was like everyone was sort of disappointed when he first got the job. Like no one really believed in Southgate, and then he sort of built the belief with like a really good finish in 2018, and he did well in 2020 as well. But it's also the type of thing that you look back now. It's like at the time it felt like a really good finish, but then you look back at like the team and what we did in those games. It's like we probably should have done a bit better. Like we got knocked out to Croatia in the semi-finals of 2018, and the problems we're seeing now is exactly what happened then. England scored first against Croatia, then just sat back and defended, gave Croatia all the control. They came back and won it. And what is everyone complaining about in this tournament? England score a goal, and then they sit back and let the other team completely dominate.
Yeah.
So
I guess they're
the same. It's like they were really good finishes at the time, but when you look back on Southgate, I think it's like one of those where England probably should have actually done better than they did under Southgate so far.
I heard the criticism of Leach is they're playing like a team that just barely qualified, playing extremely defensively. And then they generally have, they're favored to win this thing. They generally have one of the more talented teams, if not the most talented team in the entire roster. Harry Kane now scored 13 goals at major international tournaments, as many goals as Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen combined. Where does he rank up in the GOAT conversation for England?
Very much up there.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Potentially. I'd have to go over it in my head. It's a tough one because you've got to try and compare to the older guys, which is Rooney. As far as modern footballers go, Rooney is his closest threat.
Yeah, sure.
In that department. And then you go back to the 90s, you got someone like Alan Shearer, top goal scorer in Premier League history, but I think he probably is better than him. And then you go all the way back to the likes of, I don't know, Bobby Moore or Nobby Stiles, Bobby Charlton, people like that. So it's a tough one to do off the top of my head.
So you could make the argument he's the greatest English player ever. Or at least
I think certainly so. I think he's in the conversation now. If he had the trophies behind him, I think he would be considered by most the best English player.
Yeah, it is a trophy thing because I noticed just on YouTube the Messi Ronaldo thing just died after. It was always the Messi's the greatest club player of all time, Ronaldo's the greatest player of all time, and that just stopped after the World Cup. That you don't even see that debate. Now it's I like Messi or Ronaldo more. That's it. That's the only debate. So yeah, it is. I normally I don't mind watching England lose. In fact, I never do. But I always just I don't know. I wanted Harry Kane to get something, and it just he's got no luck. Meme review. Please be 18. What team is that? Jesus.
Denmark, I want to say.
I don't know. Is he making a reference to a player or something like that?
Huh. I think it's just a general statement. When you meet a young lady, you hope and pray she's 18.
Oh, wow. Sergio Ramos in 2012. Mudryk in 2024. And Martinez. One for the Champions League, one for the... rate the meme.
Bottom of the barrel.
Bottom of the barrel. Southgate ran dominoes. I love this meme personally.
Yeah. I don't
know. A woman with her ass sticking in the air just makes it.
If I was to critique it, I would say Southgate wouldn't, he wouldn't let this happen. There'd be about one pizza coming through per 10 minutes, just to be on the safe side so you don't get overrun like this.
That's got to be photoshopped a little, right?
That's AI. That's so AI.
Yeah, you think so?
I reckon.
Rate the meme.
Look at the pizzas coming off. I don't even know what the metric is. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? Good meme.
Sure.
I have a meme that I'm actually afraid to post in here. I posted it in chat. You have to join the Discord to find out. Jude Bellingham's performance against Denmark: 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots, 1 chance creative, 2 touches in the box, 2 passes in the final third, 10 duels lost. Are you guys underestimating Denmark a little? They're a very good team. They've given you a hard time over the years, in recent hard years, and in recent time. Do we not give Denmark a lot of credit because they're not a big five?
Yeah, I think they're quite respected for how good they are. In all honesty, like whenever I've had conversations over here about who's going to do well or whatever, whenever Denmark's mentioned, people always say, "Oh, Denmark are a good side." I think Denmark have really improved their reputation, especially in like recent tournaments. I think they are one of those sides that considered like, oh, they're a good team. You don't want to underestimate them. Whereas like a Serbia, I think people were more expecting England to smash Serbia, but I don't think there was anyone who was going to say Denmark would get smashed by England. I think people just expected England to show up more. Like it's not so much that people expected England to smash Denmark and that's why they're disappointed with the result. I think it's more the performance where, Denmark are a good side, but it felt like England didn't show up at all against them, sort of thing, rather than people expecting Denmark to not be good.
Bellingham's second game, everybody's praising Bellingham's play in the first game. Is this just a one-off or more to come from Jude?
Depends on how. I think it comes more down to how the team played. Because you look at that, all right, that's a bad individual performance for Bellingham, but as you look at the team as a whole, it was a bad team effort. And so, like, you look at it, there was that, like, a graph. I can't remember who posted it. It was like England's average positions 50 for the next 15 minutes after they scored the goal, and pretty much the entire team was like on the edge of the England box. It's like, how's an attacking player like Bellingham meant to do anything when the entire team is just sat so deep, sat back? I think if England improve, England play better, I think we'll certainly see a lot more from Bellingham. I think he's just sort of one of the players being held back by England,
The
just
malaise
not being able to do anything.
that we're seeing, or is he being held back by Gareth Southgate tactics?
Well, yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's more like tactically, he's trying to make everyone sit back and defend, which then means people like Bellingham aren't able to do what they're really good at because they're stuck sat at the back with everyone else, and then they've got no options to like pass out and move.
Germany. Let's go over Group A. Germany beats Switzerland in the second game of the group stage. They're already through with 6 points. Switzerland. They have 4. Certainly, they can go through with a win.
But they can go through with pretty much anything.
Anything to go thing with it. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh no, wait a minute. Well, they could. Yeah, they can go pretty much because of.
So they're six goals ahead of Scotland.
Yeah,
so you basically need Scotland to smash Hungary and Switzerland to get slapped.
Well, let's
or
go.
Whatever it is.
Actually, it looks like the Scots might have to root for England too, because they're just ahead of. What is it? No, that's Group of Death. So. Yeah, do you think the Scots will last here? You think they can get a win in their final game? Just to be able to say, yeah. No, you think it's possible though?
I think it's possible, certainly. Like they played a lot better the other day in their second game. So if they can carry on, they could maybe grind out a result. Get a nice little win. Maybe they can pull it off. I don't think it's beyond them.
Group B, Croatia finds himself in dead last. This is a team I figured Spain or Italy. I wasn't really impressed with Spain or Italy going into this. Spain is actually, I would say, one of the better teams in the tournament. I don't think there's any doubt
best
about
team
it.
Of the tournament.
Yeah, best. Yeah,
with Germany
could be. Yeah, Spain and Germany for sure. Croatia. Are you a little surprised by their performance? I mean, look. Albania was expected to be the whipping boy. But I saw their game against Croatia. They have some talent on that team. They play as a team. They want to be there. It's not, and they're not just sitting back. They're going at the competition. That's got to be a bit of a surprise. And Croatia's got serious talent on the team. This is not out of the realm of possibility that they could win the whole thing. They always seem to lose in finals. Are you surprised by their performance?
To an extent, yes. I didn't expect them to get smashed by Spain like they did. Although I thought Spain would win that, but I thought it'd be a closer game. And I obviously thought they would beat Albania. That was a bit of a surprise to get a draw out of that. But as far as them not going ahead of Spain and Italy, I said it in the Spanish review, I don't think Croatia are going through. And if they are, it says the best third. I think Italy and Spain are just better teams at this point. I think people underrate the loss of players that Croatia have had.
Mm.
You've seen the likes of Ivan Rakitic, who was a fantastic midfielder for them. He's gone. Mario Mandzukic, an absolute workhorse up front, good goal scorer. He's gone as well. So yeah, I'm I'm surprised by how poorly they are doing, but I'm not surprised by the fact that Spain and Italy look like the two teams that are going to go through this group.
You're not surprised. Do you even think there was any chance Croatia was going to finish second?
Oh, I mean, there was certainly a chance,
Yeah.
but I thought personally I had more confidence in Italy and
Well,
Spain.
I'm
Certainly
just saying
Spain.
because I didn't think my prediction of one of the two big ones getting knocked out was completely ridiculous, or at least finish with one of them finishing in third. But it appears to be that Croatian is donezo. Guten Nacht. Group C, your group. England sits on top, but nobody's really happy with their performance. They got to win over a team they absolutely need a win from, and they got to draw after a team that's higher. If they're having trouble, the idea is if they're having trouble with Denmark, they're going to what are they going to do against Germany or France? As far as we talked about England a little, as far as Denmark, do they have a chance to go deep in this tournament still? Even I mean, the same thing kind of applies for them. They struggle against England. Are they going to be able to deal with a big five or a more potent attack in going forward? How far do you think they go from this stage, Denmark?
I don't know, because they didn't look too hot against Slovenia, in all honesty.
Mm.
Like, I get that obviously Slovenia are going to be seen as the easier team to play against than England, but I think, in all honesty, the way England are playing, I would rather play England. England are just sitting back, giving you space and just letting you do stuff. And
Mm.
so, as crazy as it sounds, I think England might honestly be an easier game than Slovenia as far as like the amount of control and things you're allowed to do.
Mm.
And so the fact they really struggled against Slovenia and only got a draw out of that makes me worry for Denmark going forward in the tournament.
Uh,
But maybe it was a fact of they were sort of warming up, because they did certainly play a lot better against England. They were really good against England, in fairness. And so if we see them have another really good game against Serbia, then I think that would like restore confidence in Denmark. But I think there is certainly question marks there after their Slovenia performance.
Group D, France, they're going through. I don't think anybody has a problem with this. I don't think anybody has a problem with this. They haven't even had. I think they have a lot of their games tomorrow. I think this group, Netherlands, they get a win over. I was worried about the Netherlands coming into this, but they seem like they're going to be okay, especially with an Austrian loss. They're playing Poland as this is being recorded.
Austria are winning currently, by the way, as we're recording this.
Who's winning?
Austria are 1-0 up as we're recording.
Austria's 1-0 up. Okay, so they have. Okay. So yeah, they might get back in it. They're not. Austria's not a total pushover. Would you agree?
Yeah, I quite like Austria. I think their performances have been quite good under Ralph Rangnick since he's taken over as coach, and I think, yeah, they're certainly like an underrated side in the terms of like their talent. They've got a decently talented squad, and Rangnick's quite a good coach as far as international goes.
Sure.
And so I think they are a solid side. You saw it against France. They played really well against France.
Mm-hmm.
It was not an easy game at all for France. France kind of looked a bit England-like, where they're the other favourite, and they didn't look too convincing against Austria, because I think Austria just did well to shut them down as well. So yeah, I think there's hope for Austria going forward.
So Austria
because
really impressed me in this group. Of course, Poland, they're still missing Lewandowski. He's not going to be playing in the next game either. Is that official?
I don't know.
That's what
He started on the bench in this game against Austria. Don't know. Time will tell whether he comes on or not.
Well, they were saying game 3, come to think of it, but certainly that's really hurting Poland's chance, and they got to make up for 2 goals. I see Austria going through. I thought they might be able to pick off. I thought they might actually be able to finish second, because the Dutch haven't been all that much in recent, but they looked okay. This group really hasn't impressed me all that much, considering the team's reputations. Group B, Romania, Ukraine, Slovakia, Belgium. Ukraine gets a huge win today. That puts them in second place. This is probably the weakest group, but the real story is Belgium's first. They find themselves at the bottom of the table with a -1 GD. What went wrong with Belgium, in your opinion?
Um, Lukaku.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, it just doesn't. Yeah, it just does it
He
again.
had one of his Lukaku games, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he scored 14 in qualifying, top scorer in qualifying out of any team. Like
Yeah.
fantastic qualifying round. But then, yeah, that game against Slovakia was just a very Lukaku game,
Mm.
where every time the ball got to him in the box, it would bounce funny and something stupid would happen, like it always happens. Then he had like 2 goals disallowed, and yeah, I think
He stepped in front of a
I don't
shot
know.
like he did in the Champions League 2 years ago too. I thought I
Yeah,
saw.
that
Yeah,
too. It was like a very Lukaku performance in the
mm.
box for Belgium, and Slovakia managed to get their goal and end up winning that. But I don't know. I think Belgium could still pull through. I think on another day they potentially beat Slovakia, and it's a completely different story.
Group F, obviously the big star being Ronaldo with Portugal, but Turkey finds himself at the top of the table early. I mean, we know who Portugal is, but it is an aging team, not just not just with Ronaldo himself. Do you like Turkey going forward? What do you think about this particular group?
Well, as many people have pointed out, Turkey Georgia was like one of the best games of the tournament. It was really entertaining and fantastic, and I think Turkey are an interesting side. They got Vincenzo Montella as the coach, Italian. He's an interesting, more attack-minded sort of coach, which makes them a bit more exciting. And they've got some really fantastic young talents like Arda Güler, scored a fantastic goal against Georgia. Really, really nice player at Real Madrid. I tweeted probably out 50 times last summer asking for Chelsea to sign him,
Yeah,
but
I
Real
know.
Madrid ended up getting him.
Mm.
And yeah, I think Turkey is certainly an interesting side. I think Portugal will probably end up topping this group once everyone's played each other, but I don't know. It depends who Turkey get in the next round, whether they can go a bit further. But I think they're an exciting team to watch, but they're not necessarily going to go very far, I don't think.
Okay. Best third place teams, or this sort of new thing. I think this is the first year they've done this.
No, they
Uh,
did it last
they did
tournament as well.
the last Euro or last World Cup. Did
I
they do
believe
it
it was Euros.
last
I
Euro?
definitely remember this happening before. I think
Okay.
it was Euros.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
even before that because Portugal actually, when Portugal won it in 2016,
Yeah, 2016.
they were a best placed third
Oh
team because
God.
they
Wow.
drew all 3 of their games in the groups. They didn't win a game until they beat Wales in the semis.
Amazing. Slovakia looks pretty safe. Like they're going to go through. I guess one plays 4 and 2 plays 3, and then they go up the chain. Is that how it works? If
No, I think it's just the top 4 go through.
Okay. Oh, they just play teams. Okay, then they play teams that
Yeah.
They played one. They'll play probably a lot of ones, I suppose, in the
Mm.
other in the other
Yeah, I
in
think
the
that's
other
usually what
groups.
it is. It's like the first places play the best thirds or something
Okay.
like that.
All right. I hope Scotland makes it through. Like you said, they did play a little better. I do like Albania. I like the way they play. They're very fearless. I haven't seen too much of Slovakia and Slovenia, but yeah, I can't imagine Slovakia being safe. Of course, they have a win and they're in third place, so that really helps them. And yeah, you get to survive on. If you don't, you finish 5 and 6. It's see you next time, Bucko. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got for today's cast. Do you have any the interesting football stories or personal stuff? Anything on Chelsea? Anything on your own team?
No, not at the moment. I don't think. I think it's all just been Euros for me. Things are a bit quiet for Braintree at the moment. They're just signing a load of players. So I suppose I'll have a bit more to talk about with them once the squad's sort of sorted. But yeah, nothing too interesting other than the Euros for me.
Well, I have something, unfortunately. As you know, I'm black and red all over with the Metro Stars and with Wehen Wiesbaden, and we got some devastating news. Our center back who popped 4 goals. He's like 6'5". He was the best thing, and the punishment goes on for relegation. He had an option to leave even though he was signed up. And I guess we couldn't keep him from going, and he was transferred to Darmstadt, which puts him. He probably could stay in the same house. Going to Darmstadt, he stays in the second league. Alexander Vukotic. This is I experienced the joy of promotion, and this is tough. And if they lose any other center backs, I think promotion might be kind of we had no offense. The only thing we had is our defense, and this guy, I wouldn't say he was the captain of our defense, but he was definitely he was a player that put the fear of God, especially on corner kicks, being that tall. So I don't know. I thought about making a Ranfield video, but I guess I just didn't want to cry. Alexander Vukotic. And then, of course, the Metro Stars, the Red Bulls, the shield is slipping away. They're having a difficult time dealing without their stars. Mr. Forsberg, even though they didn't make the tournament, Sweden, out, supposed to be back. They had a match day during Wednesday. I guess they're cramming them all in MLS. Forsberg finds himself hurt, and no one's really saying anything. And then, of course, Morgan, playing for Scotland, who hasn't got. I'd feel better if he just was subbed in once. And that everything falls on the great Dante Vincier. I don't know why I want to call that guy Dominic. You know what it is? Because I didn't like somebody called Dominic growing up, and I want not to like him. So that's where I stand there. Certainly, Leagues Cup certainly is hopeful. We'll be one of the better teams there. We've proven we can beat Miami. Certainly, we're going to make the playoffs. That's going to be no problem. New York Smurfs lost one, so we're in pretty decent position for playoffs. I don't think it's unless a total collapse, but yeah, summer leagues kind of suck when you lose your players, and relegation suck when you lose. Because everybody wants to stay in the league they belong in. And, yeah, you have no experience with this, do you? Because you're a Chelsea fan. Well, actually, I guess you kind of do.
As a Braintree fan,
yeah,
definitely do.
They pretty much start fresh every year with that level. They get a fourth tier, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Like they're doing it at the moment because they've had to go pro now that they're in the National League again.
Now they got to spend money.
So they had to, they had to re-sign everyone to new pro contracts, and so you've seen a lot of turnarounds now where there's people like Alfie Payne left because he has like a decent paying job, and so he didn't want to have to give up his job to go full time at Braintree, so he's staying in the lower leagues. And and obviously new guys signing from other teams and whatnot. So there's a lot of turnaround at the moment.
That's got to be a weird decision. Like your dream was to be a professional footballer. You found a way to play fifth tier, fourth tier, semi-pro, and keep your job. And now you have an opportunity to complete that dream. But you're in your late 20s. You have a family. You have a real job, and you have to make I'm starting to use the word gutted a lot. I'm starting to like that. That's kind of a British thing to say. Is a gutting decision. Would you imagine? That's got to be a tough decision to make, don't you think?
Oh yeah, certainly. You'd think it sounds crazy when you first hear it, but then you think about it, it's like, yeah, I kind of get that. At the point of at that point of your life, if you've got a good job going and your career path, then yeah, I suppose.
It's probably tough to get motivated.
That just to play fifth tier football for a bit. If it was championship or something, I could understand what the hell are you doing? But fifth tier is low enough where it's all right, if you've got a good thing going outside of football, I get if you want to stick to that.
If we don't get promoted, then if we don't get promoted, I can't go with you anyway. I can't live it out. That's a weird thing. Well, Glory Hunters podcast is the best podcast on this channel. None of these other guys are putting out podcasts. And we cover it all. Please join our Discord. Come in. We're streaming events. We just did Spain, Italy last night. It was a lot of fun. We did the watch-alongs. The rants are coming in. I think we kind of have a steady stream of YouTube content creators. And if you want to be a Glory Hunter content creator, get in there, get to know us, send us some stuff, and join the team, join the club. It's a lot of fun. And we'll see you next time. I don't know when next time is because we're prioritizing, especially here in Germany. we're watching some games, so we'll spit these out, and when things kind of level off a little bit, well, I'll be going on vacation, but you can you'll probably be seeing the 2 a week, at least 1 a week, as soon as the regular season starts, and the regular European season starts, and it's really just around the corner. So that's one way to look at it. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a good one. Take care.